It's the scariest month of the year, so we're gonna look at some scary action figures from three different toy companies. Get ready to get frightened. Believe it or not, it's October already, so we're into the scary month. That's right, Halloween is coming up. What a great time. I don't know why it's not a national holiday. Why do we have to go to work on Halloween? But we get Thanksgiving off, Christmas. It's Halloween. Oh, sadly, over the years, maybe it's because I'm getting older, but it just seems like just Halloween's not the thing it used to be. When I was a kid, it was one of the biggest days of my life. I got to put on a mask and go get candy. That was like my two favorite things. It was great. And the neighborhood would be packed. Kids up and down the street. Now you're lucky if you see one kid at your house. Oh, don't even get me started on parents that take their kids to the church parking lot. Trunk or treat. It's safer, Junkman. Oh yes, stand behind a car with the trunk open. That sounds really safe. But a few neighborhoods still do it. Remember the lady that would give out pennies? Remember her? Or how about the lady that gave out the apple? You know you was going to throw that at one of her windows. Then it was the take one, leave the rest for the other kids. Oh, I'm going to leave the basket maybe. No, let's be honest. I take it all, throw it into my pillowcase, and throw the basket on top of the roof. But we're here talking about toys, not just Halloween fun. And if you wanted to have a scary toy line to play with during Halloween, oh, we've got some you could get back in the 70s and into the early 80s. Now we're going to start with the Remco Universal Monster line. I think all of you remember that line. A very successful toy line, and we had a 9-inch line of figures, smaller figures that went really good with Star Wars figures, and even monsters in a box. Oh. Before we talk about that, let's talk about these orange books. I think that where every school library had these. And they really remind me of the Remco figures. Well, not all of them, because all of them didn't get made into figures. But the Universal Monsters, I guess that's what the books were talking about, some of them. And the figures were based on that. So it always seemed like it go together for me. You know, you want to check out the Dracula book from the school library and hold your Dracula figure while you read about it. I didn't read about it, I just looked at the pictures. So these figures always remind me of those Orange Crestwood books. Remember those? Am I the only one? Is it only my school that had these? I love these things. But let's dig into the Remco line, and let's start with the puppet in a box. Here we go. Monsters at Home for Remco. It was a little box you put your hand in, and there was a little Muppet inside. Did I say Muppet? Puppet. A little puppet inside. Right here, as you can see, the creature from the Black Lagoon. Right there, and he's got like a little shrunken chest that he's in. Crazy, right? And check out this right here, also from Plaid Stallion. Great website, check it out. A mummy. The mummy's got a little casket, a little casket, what do they call it, sarcophagus or something? A casket. Put it there. I'm a mummy one. Crazy, right? Check out this scary right here. Oh, I guess it also comes some kind of casket right there. Dracula. It's got blood running down his face. How scary is that? Blood running down your face. You know that's scary. And let's look at another one from the line. Frankenstein. Got me stop it. Frankenstein right there. See, it even says Frankenstein. I'm not going to read the rest. I'm going to stop. It says Frankenstein real big. And there he is right there. And you can take him out of the box too, it looks like. Let's look at one of these out of the package here. There he is right there. Looks like he's in a refrigerator. If I had talent, I'll make an Indiana Jones hand puppet inside a refrigerator. Oh, one of the best Indiana Jones movies I've ever seen. But there it is right there. Now, Remco, of course, made more than just these puppets, like I said earlier. They did a 19 inch. That would have been crazy. A 9-inch line. Let's take a look at that. First, you have Frankenstein. Tell me that's not scary. And not only that, you got a free iron-on patch inside. Got a free iron-on patch when you're buying these. So it's like 2 for 1. You get a toy, but you also get an iron-on patch. And check out this right here. Creature from the Black Lagoon. I don't know why he's green. Seemed like it's a black lagoon. It'd be all dirty, like tar looking or something, but I could be wrong. But there he is right there. Another one from that line was, of course, Phantom of the Opera. When I was a kid, I thought it said Phantom of the Opera, and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, that don't look nothing like Roy A. Cup. God, I gotta get some. I gotta update my material here. How many people? I don't know. You think you get a Roy A. Cup joke on here? No. But anyway, there you go. Phantom of the Opera. Ugh, that one. That guy used to scare me. If I was laying around late at night and it just show a picture from that movie, that would scare the freak out of me. I hated that guy. And then we've got the Wolfman. I never saw the Wolfman as scary. I don't know. Just me. Never really saw the Wolfman as scary. But there he is, the Wolfman. He wants to drink your blood. And the Mummy. Look at that. It looks like Lon Chaney right there. The Mummy. It looks like he's wearing a shirt. They should just wrap him in some kind of mummy stuff. But there he is right there. The Mummy. But we're not done yet. Nope. There was Dracula. Yeah, they didn't do the Black Dracula. Remember the Black Dracula? Blackula. I don't know why his name's got to be. I mean, this guy's not Wycula. I don't know right there. But they say never go to a doctor called Acula. But anyway, that's a stupid joke. Anyway, let's move on here to the Dracula one right there again. Blood running down his face. That's scary, man. That's scary no matter what universe you're from. But that's from the Universal Monster line. And believe it or not, they did a playset from this line also. The Monsterizer. This is what Frankenstein is when you want him to come to life. He's alive! He's alive! He's alive! Remember that? Well, you could do that. I guess you could put other figures into it. It seems like it's just made for Frankenstein, though. Should have done something a little more universal. Get it? A pun. But let's look at the smaller line. And these were two. They did two of each. One that would glow in the dark and one that didn't glow in the dark. And here we're just going to look at the glow in the dark ones. It was the same figure, just a little more green to it. But here's Creature of the Black Lagoon. Again, all green right there. As you can see from the package, if you couldn't tell already, it will glow in the dark. And here's Dracula, the only one I had of the line. I had this one. Why I bought this one? I'm guessing I went to Zayre's or something, and they were out of Star Wars figures. They didn't have one I didn't have yet, so I bought this one, which I played with it. It already reminded me of Victor Newman. It reminded me of Victor Newman. Who gets these references? But it reminded me of Victor Newman. And he used to play in my cantina. I would put him up with he was the bartender, to be honest with you. I didn't make the little fat guy from the movie, so this guy became my bartender of the cantina. Great figure, great figure. And then we have Frankenstein once again. Seems like we're just looking at the same thing over and over again in different sizes. But there he is, Frankenstein. Ooh. Not Frankenstein's monster, Frankenstein. And then we've got, Mummy. Mummy right there, the Mummy. It doesn't say the Mummy, it just says Mummy. Mummy, ooh, scary. Don't worry, it's gonna get pretty scary. Wait till you see the AHI toys of the Universal Monsters. They'll be a little later. Let's move on here. And then we've got, the Phantom. I would have thrown this in the trash if somebody bought me this thing. I hated that guy. That thing was scary. And then there's the boring Wolfman again. I never got into Wolfman. I was a teenage werewolf, teen wolf, sailing on top of a car. I never got into the wolf stuff. I just never did. But let's show you what the back of the package will look like in case you care. Right there, all your figures in glorious black and white. Just like the movies. And they also did the, same thing again with this one. Size it down for the smaller figures. You could put whatever figure you want to into it. And did you know they actually did a carrying case? Yeah, the mini monster play case. You got to carry around. I don't know why you need a carrying case. It's only like 4 or 5 figures. You can just put them together and stick them in your pocket. But it was cool because it was more than a carrying case, as you can see here. It was also a play set. So now you can understand why they did make it. But that's a look at some of the Remco scary movie monster figures. But we're not done yet because we're going to look at the AHI company. What's that stand for? I don't know. But it was a company called AHI. And they made a lot of toys back in the 70s. You might be thinking, I've heard of that one, Junkman. I've heard of that one. That's because they was famous for making the 8-man toy line. Action 8-man. Let's be honest, It's a ripoff. It's a ripoff Planet of the Apes. But don't worry, the same company would make Planet of the Apes figure just a year later. I guess they were just like, hey, we ain't got time to be waiting around for no likeness rights. Oh no, let's just go ahead and make a action ape man. But we're not here to talk about apes with guns. We're here to talk about monster figures, Universal monster figures. And boy, they went. It's almost scarier than the Remco ones because they went so cheap with it, so gimmicky with it. It looks scary. See what I'm talking about here? First, let's look at the rubber ones here. Super Monster line. Creature. Look at that creature. Look like his head got ran over by a wheelbarrow. I don't know. That thing is weird looking. At least he's not all green. He's got some brown hands. And then we have Dracula. More blood coming down his mouth. But I always got to do Dracula with blood coming down your mouth. You say, these ain't that bad. Wait till you see the 9-inch ones or 8-inch, whatever they are. Wait till you see them. Like, what the hell's going on here? Let's take a look at this here. Here's Frankenstein. They're bendies. I mean, what can you say? Bendies have always been awful. Remember in the 90s when they brought Star Wars back in Bendums? And then we have King Kong. Hey, he's Universal. I guess he can count as a Universal monster, right? Wasn't that Universal to make King Kong? Well, there he is, King Kong. And as they say, you know I'm going to say it. You know I got to say it whenever I bring up King Kong. You know I'm going to say it. King Kong went to Hong Kong to play ping pong with his ding-dong. And there you go right there. Well, let's look at another one from the Bendham line. Here we go right here, the Mummy. That's weird looking. That's weird looking. It doesn't look much like the Mummy. Well, the Mummy's been rolling around in dirt. But let's look at the Mego-sized doll line from this. Let's take a look at them. Here we go, Dracula. That is just, looks more like a car insurance salesman. And check out this right here, the creature from the Black Lagoon. He's all green again. This one here, look at him. Just his eyes make him look like a bootleg. He looks like a bootleg. This ain't a bootleg though. Look at this one right here. It says the Mummy, but it's Frankenstein. That ain't the Mummy, that's Frankenstein. Speaking of the Mummy, here's the Mummy now. Look, he got an eye patch on his face. Look, he got a broke foot. Look at his foot. Ow, that's gotta hurt. Oh, man. And check out this right here, Wolfman. Now, this is the scariest one of the line. I know I was making fun of Wolfman earlier, but if I saw this guy walking down the street or in the woods somewhere, I would diarrhea in my pants. Look at this thing. Look at this thing up close. Whew. That is... Most people pay good money at a fair to see somebody look like that. Oh, and I like his belt. A belt made of a rope. He ain't got time to be going no J.C. Penney buying a belt. I'm just going to get a rope and tie it around my waist. I don't know why. The Wolfman's pants fall down a lot. I'm not really sure. Now, if you grew up in the 70s, one TV show you may not remember until you think about it was a TV show, live action on Saturday mornings, that was kind of about the Universal Monsters. I don't think they used the term Universal Monsters, but it was all the ones we know. And that was called Monster Squad. Monster Squad. It was kind of cheesy, but it was just what you expect for a live action Saturday morning show. It didn't last long, but Ideal, the toy company that made I was gonna say $6 million man, that made Evel Knievel, stunt cycle on the Evel Knievel line, was gonna make a Monster Squad toy line. Let's take a look. We only know of two they were gonna make. Dracula, I guess he had blood running down his face, and I don't know who the other one is, like a fake Beetlejuice. I'm not sure. There they are in their car. And yes, that other car you see is a hot dog wiener car. But no, it's not. It's not from Monster Squad. The kids from Capture. Does anybody remember that show? I got a feeling you don't. That even probably lasted less than the Monster Squad. I don't think they was gonna make toys based on that. And look at these kids. They're the oldest kids I ever seen. Is that Balky? Oh no! I thought that was the dude that played Balky, but I don't remember this show. I remember hearing of it and stuff. I don't remember watching it. I do remember one time they talked to a damn shark. Why didn't they make that figure? Well, that's a look at some scary Universal Monster figures. One from Remco, the other one from AHI. And the other one, what we almost got for my deal. Does anyone remember Monster Squad, the television show? Might be something fun to look into in a video. But let me know, what toy line scared you as a little kid?
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.